Hi guys. Welcome to my channel. So before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, also subscribe to my channel. In this video, we will talk about respect moments in football and World Cup. So make sure to watch the full video. 1. Sports trumps politics. One of the beautiful things about the World Cup is that it allows people from all over the world to come together to share their love of the game. The World Cup gives people common ground and can bring them together in a way that politicians fail to. No event symbolizes this better than when Iran played the USA in 1998. When these two nations were drawn into the same group, the world was stunned. There were perhaps no two nations on earth that had worse relations at the time. As soon as they were drawn against each other, people envisioned the match being an ugly and rough affair. In addition to that, the French officials heightened security for the match, as they feared violence in the crowd. What ended up happening was far from what anyone expected. The match was playing in amazingly good spirits. Both teams displayed an amazing amount of sportsmanship throughout the entire match. Iran and the USA teams both posed together for their team pictures, and the captains exchanged gifts at the center circle. It was an incredibly moving image. In addition to that, the players were very friendly throughout the game, and there was no nastiness between them. The fans were also very well behaved and got along very well with each other. Everyone was stunned by the amount of respect the two nations showed each other. As for the match itself, Iran defeated the USA 2-1. However, that took a back seat to the amazing amount of sportsmanship that was seen on that night. What will be remembered is the amazing ability that the World Cup has to bring hostile nations together and let sports triumph over politics. 2. Uruguay takes the first. The old saying goes, you must learn how to crawl before you learn how to walk. All great things in life have to start somewhere, and for the World Cup, it began in 1930. Prior to 1930, the Olympics were viewed as the most important football tournament. After years of negotiations, FIFA finally were able to organize the tournament that spectators had long dreamt for. However, the World Cup was not always the spectacle that it is today. In fact, it was hard to even find teams that wanted to take the long trip to Uruguay to compete in the first tournament. However, FIFA was able to find 12 participants who were willing to join the host nation and compete. On July 13, 1930, the World Cup got underway with two matches starting simultaneously. There was great anticipation for the tournament in Uruguay, but the matches not involving the hosts or their neighbors failed to attract large crowds. The hosts performed well, as did their arch-nemesis Argentina. Both of these teams made it to the semifinals, and both had convincing 6-1 victories to reach the final. On the day of the final, the tension was palpable throughout Montevideo. Thousands of Argentines poured across the border to see their beloved homeland try to win the trophy on rival soil. An audience totaling 93,000 fans would pack into the Centenario Stadium to watch the final, which still remains as one of the largest crowds in history. Uruguay opened the scoring after just 12 minutes and sent the home fans into frenzy. However, the Argentines hit back, scoring two before halftime to take the lead. The Uruguayans were able to settle down at halftime and played inspired in the second half. They railed to score 3 goals after the break, with the last one by Hector Castro in the 89th minute sealing the victory. Celebrations broke out instantly throughout the country, and the next day was declared a holiday. The reaction in Argentina was vastly different. In Buenos Aires, angry supporters hurled stones at the Uruguayan consul to show their displeasure. The decision by FIFA to create the World Cup turned out to be a major success. Without the first World Cup, the game would never have evolved into the enormous spectacle that it is today. 3. Croatia stuns Germany. There are few teams in world football that have had a more glorious history than Germany. The Germans had won at least one major in every decade since the 1950s, ended in the 2000s. Going into the 1998 World Cup, they were the reigning European champions, and their expectations were high, as they always are. Croatia is better known for their beautiful beaches and the brutal war that devastated the country than for football. The 1998 World Cup was the first time that Croatia were even eligible to participate as an independent nation. At the time, the football-mad nation was desperate for a distraction that could help give them escape from the horrors of war. Despite the fact that Croatia had performed well at Euro 96, no one expected them to do much in the World Cup. Their performance would take the world by storm. In the quarterfinals, Germany and Croatia met, and it was viewed as David against Goliath type match. The match started as expected with Germany creating a series of good chances, but were kept at bay. In the 40th minute, the Croatians got a big break as Christian Warnes was sent off for a wild challenge on Davor Suker. This would turn out to be a pivotal point in the match. In stoppage time, Robert Jarni found himself with space outside the box and launched a beautiful strike in the corner to give Croatia the lead. Seconds after the goal, the referee blew for half-time. Croatia knew they had struck a vital blow, and they had Germany on the ropes. That couldn't possibly be the score of a game at the World Cup, right? A score like that could only take place on the playground or in an Oceania World Cup qualifier. It's inconceivable to think a match could finish with a score like that at the World Cup, considering this is the tournament for the best teams in the world. However, in 1982 Hungary would prove that it's possibly to hit double digits at a World Cup match, as they trounced El Salvador in the biggest margin of victory in the history of the tournament, 10-1. Hungary's golden years in the game came in the 1950s. They had world-class players such as Ferenc Puskás, and in 1954, they were one of the favorites to win it all. Hungary made it to the final where they played West Germany but went down in one of the biggest upsets in finals history. Since that point, they had fallen off considerably and were not expected to go far in 1982. 5. The best decision that no one saw. There are few jobs in the world that are more thankless than being a referee. When a referee gets a decision wrong, they get put under intense scrutiny. That scrutiny is greatly magnified when the error comes at the World Cup. However, rarely do you see the media and the fans praise an official for a correct decision. In 1998, Esi Baharmast, an American official, made one of the bravest decisions in the history of the game, and as a result, should be given his proper credit. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to our channel before you go. Thank you for watching.